Before I get any further, I wanted to make this video while it's apart and while I'm figuring things out about this toy, the Explorer Vanguard tracking station, Structoys. Anyway, when I got it, I put the batteries in. I couldn't get it to work. Had to sand the contacts just a little bit. Got the batteries to work. The red light went on. Nothing spun, but I got buzzer sound. And I did have a light inside the window. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and get into it because the motor wasn't working. So this is the insides, the top removed. What you see is I had to make I had to disconnect this ground from the total top and base, and I'll just re-solder that. And then I also got a wire here that just came apart as I was fiddling with it. So I've got to resolder right there. But temporarily I have this grounded here to here, and that's getting it to work. I finally got the motor working by spinning these wheels by hand, and then I realized I might be going the wrong way, and I went backwards a few times, and that seemed to like kickstart the motor. And so the motor's working now. What I did, this is the on-off button. Rather than take all the connections under here apart, I just got this loose and then put a piece of wire temporarily between the red wire and the two blues. That's what would make the on. So I've got that kind of wedged in there, and I can just pop that out when I'm done. But that's in there to keep it on. Right now, there's only one battery in it. I could not get the red and the white to be flashing. I couldn't get any light on it at first. The red light was lit before I took it apart, but once I had it apart, the red light wouldn't even light. So the wheel, as this motor spins, turns this lever, hits these contacts, and that's what makes the red and the white flash back and forth. Well, I wasn't getting any lights. Then I forget how I got red. I got the red to work. No, I can't remember. Just playing with these contacts a little bit, cleaning them up. But anyway, this wheel comes around, spins the longer of the two metal tabs, hits the left tab and hits the right tab. Well, for some reason, it wasn't coming. I got the red to work, and then the white wasn't working, and I just pushed on these contacts a little bit to bend them back together, and I'm going to do it a little bit more. Okay, so anyway, we're going to put a battery in, watch it spin. Oh, the other problem is these rubber band belts are there, and this one does turn, but is just a little bit too loose, and this one's very loose. And it turns down here, but there's just not enough tension to pull that and turn the earth. So right now, let me see if I can. The satellites are spinning because that's directly hooked to the shaft from the motor. So the satellites were always spinning once I got the motor going, but the earth only spins with this band here. And so I know I can fix this. But I don't want to take all these pieces apart to get the band out, and so I may just try to cut it, put a dab of super glue between the rubber, cut out just a 1/16 of an inch. That's what I'm going to try, and super glue that back together. See if that holds well enough and it works. And if that doesn't work, I can go get some urethane or whatever that is called, make my own little belt, and it's probably what should be done while it's apart, so it hopefully will never have to come apart again. The motor does make noise, but I've seen the people's online making noise, so I'm not sure how much is normal, but it's pretty loud. So I'm going to go ahead. So remember, I have the on switch on. You can see this wheel is turning, but it won't turn this. Lights working here, the buzzer. And that would send up to this, which was working before I took it apart. So you press the button, the buzz lights up that tower. So you can see red. Let's see if I can get closer. I don't know if I can get closer. But you can see that wheel turning in there is flipping back and forth to turn on the red and then the white. And that's working now. Oh, and here's the shaft. This is turning, but it's just quite not tight enough. But anyway, I wanted to show that while I had it apart. Let me just pop this out. You may have noticed it stopped blinking. It's because my temporary ground fell out. So I had it stuck in here. Anyway, we're going to keep that off for a second. It's a pretty interesting little toy. I'm glad I took it apart and learned about it. Here's inside. The flashlight bulbs are up in there, and they do screw out right through the top. If you weren't wondering, these just come out, and you'd have to buy a similar bulb and paint it. It's a pretty flat bulb. So yeah, this was working. Everything should be working. I should have it going with the belts at least and put back together.